Welcome to this lesson on cause and effect signal words. Understanding causal relationships is one of the most important reading skills. When you read a passage, you need to understand not just what happened, but why it happened, and what happened as a result. Signal words are your guide. They tell you exactly when a writer is showing a cause and effect relationship. Let us learn to spot them. Here's what we will cover. First, the difference between cause signals and effect signals. Then, the most common signal words for each category, the ones you will see again and again. We will practice tracing cause-effect chains across multiple sentences. And finally, how to spot implied causal relationships where there is no signal word at all. The key distinction to remember is this. Cause signals introduce the reason, the why. Effect signals introduce the result, the what happened next. There are two categories of signal words. Cause signals introduce the reason something happened. The most common ones are because, since, due to, owing to, as a result of, given that, and on account of. Effect signals introduce the result or consequence. These include therefore, consequently, as a result, hence, thus, so, and accordingly. A helpful memory trick. Cause signals usually appear just before the reason. Effect signals usually appear just before the result. Knowing which category a signal word belongs to tells you immediately which part of the relationship you are reading. Let us work through an example. The passage says student engagement improved after introducing hands-on experiments. Consequently, the department decided to extend the approach. The signal word is consequently, which is an effect signal. It tells us that what comes after it is the result. So the cause is the improvement in engagement. The effect is the decision to extend the approach. Notice how the signal word sits right at the boundary between the cause and the effect. That is where you will almost always find them. Sometimes cause and effect is not just one pair. It is a chain where each effect becomes the cause of the next thing. In this passage, heavy rainfall caused flooding. As a result, roads were closed. This led to commuter delays, which in turn prompted a drainage review. That is 4 links in the chain, each one caused by the one before it. The signal words as a result, this, and which in turn connect each link. When you see a chain like this, trace it step by step. Do not jump from the first cause to the final effect without understanding the links in between. Not all cause and effect relationships come with signal words. Sometimes the writer puts 2 facts next to each other and lets you make the connection yourself. Here, the company introduced a 4-day workweek in January. By March, satisfaction improved by 15%. There is no signal word, but the structure strongly implies a causal relationship. However, be careful. Not every A happened then, B happened is cause and effect. Sometimes, events are just sequential with no causal link. Always ask yourself, is there a logical reason why A would cause B? If the connection makes sense, it is probably causal. If not, it might just be coincidence. Now it is your turn. Pause and work through these 3. Question 1. Due to budget cuts, the after-hours program was discontinued. The signal word is due to, which is a cause signal. It introduces the reason. The cause is budget cuts. The effect is the program being discontinued. Question 2. Participation tripled. The board therefore approved additional funding. The signal word is therefore an effect signal. The cause is the tripling of participation. The effect is the funding approval. Question 3. A new timetable was introduced, then complaints dropped. No signal word here. This is implied cause and effect. The structure suggests the new timetable caused the drop in complaints, but it is not explicitly stated. Let us recap. Cause signals like because, due to, since, and owing to introduce reasons. Effect signals like therefore, consequently, as a result, and hence introduce results. Cause and effect can form chains where each effect becomes the cause of the next event. Some causal relationships are implied with no signal word at all. And remember, not every sequence of events is causal. Just because A happened before B does not mean A caused B. Signal words sit right at the boundary between cause and effect, so when you spot one, stop and identify which part is the reason and which part is the result. This skill is the foundation of understanding any argument or explanation.